Hello everybody, I'm Marc Hall. Welcome to another edition of the iHigh Sports Show right here on the iHigh Video Network. It's the National City KHSAA Boys Sweet 16 version of the iHigh Sports Show. And we are into the second day, and we had two great games today, folks, in Session 3. Finally got some high-scoring affairs in this one, too. Ballard Bruins, the number 2 team in the state, taking on the Owensboro Red Devils, and the Clark County Cardinals taking on the Christian County Colonels. Athletes all over the floor in these two games. And let's get right to things. The Ballard Bruins and Owensboro. Owensboro coached by Wayne Breeden. First time they've been back in quite a number of years. Well, actually about 4 or 5. And Ballard, a familiar face in the Sweet 16. And it's Ballard moving on 80-60 in this one. Ballard scored 30 points in the third quarter. The decisive quarter, in my opinion. They scored 30 points in the first half, getting 30 in the third quarter, and then 20 in the fourth quarter. 50 points in the second half to run away with the win. That third quarter was the decisive outcome of the game, as they led by 6 at halftime. It was a 30-24 ball game, as Owensboro was playing right with the number 2 team in the state. Cut it to 3 at one point, 21-18. But Ballard showed their athleticism, showed their muscles, and showed why they're one of the top teams in the state and one of the favorites to win this thing, outscoring Owensboro 30-16 in the third quarter to win it 80-60. We got some comments from Coach Chris Renner after the game. Let's listen in and see what he had to say about his team's win.
Athleticism, we have the type of pressure we're going to apply to people, but you also got to see some of the negatives in terms of getting out rebounding. I thought there were some key stretches in that second quarter that we didn't do a good job on the glass at both ends, and that allowed Owensboro to stay in the ball game. And that's been a point of emphasis for us, is trying to control the glass, and the guys know that, and I was disappointed. But I thought the second half we responded a little bit. Again, looking at the turnovers that we forced, we forced 36 for the game. I just think it came down to that. That was obviously big for us, but at the same time, offensively, we just didn't convert as much as we should have. And it wasn't bad shots, and I don't think it was bad decisions. I think it was just a situation where we just didn't convert. So at times when that's the case, it doesn't look real pretty. But you've got to give Owensboro a tremendous amount of credit for them to win their region. They're a great basketball team, very well coached, and they gave us a hard-fought game. That's for sure.
On to the quarterfinals on Friday evening, and they'll take on the champions of the 10th region, the Clark County Cardinals. And you know you got to have a good team to win that 10th region and to beat the number 3 team in the state at the time, the Mason County Royals, on their home floor. And Clark County, making their first appearance since 1990, was going to make sure that their first appearance in 17 years was going to be a memorable one, and they certainly did that. The best start to any game so far. We've had 6 games, we've had some slow starts, but these two teams came out smoking, as Clark County led 22-17 after one quarter and 38-31 at halftime, before a little lull set in like we've had so far in these games. 11 points for each team in that third quarter. But in that fourth quarter, it was intense all the way. At one point, with 3 minutes to go in the ball game, Clark County led by 10, 61-51, before Christian County made a run there at the end on a 17-7 run to end regulation and to send things in overtime tied at 68. They even got the lead, their first lead of the game, at the 3:20 mark in overtime, 70-68. But after that, Clark County showed their poise, showed their character, and showed why they're one of the tough teams, and they're going to be a tough team to beat. Speaking of Ballard, coming up in the next round, as they came back to get the win in overtime, 77-71. Clark County down the stretch, 7 of 8 from the line in overtime. They were 5 of 14 in the fourth quarter down the stretch from the line. But they made up for it in that overtime to hit those free throws and get this win, 77. So 3/4 of the quarterfinals are set. We got 2 more games coming up on Thursday night. Elliott County, Shelby Valley, and Duke Buchanan, Ward Central. And we'll talk about those results in just a little bit. So folks, make sure you stick around right here on the Sweet 16 webpage and anywhere else you might catch this, but also on the iHigh Sports Show and the iHigh Video Network. The National City KHSAA Boys Sweet 16. We're almost done with the first round, and then the excitement really begins. Stay tuned, folks. I'll be right back.